Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to show you the actual costs for $20,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 61-year-old female. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. On pretty much every page, we've got these quoters. Select the state you live in. We're licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount and put your birthday and the other info, click Get Quotes. It's going to show you the best companies with the lowest rates in your state, and you can be a super smart consumer. And you can also call us at 888-862-9456, our toll-free number, and we can run those numbers and help you out with that if that's what you prefer as well. Now, the first thing you need to ask yourself if you're a 61-year-old female is how much insurance you actually need. Is $20,000 going to be enough? Now, if you're going to be cremated and just come home in a cardboard box or an urn, $20,000 is more than enough. If you're going to be cremated and have some sort of a ceremony, a celebration of life, or something like just some sort of get together with the family, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500. So again, if you've got a $20,000 policy right now, you can stop watching the video. You're in great shape. But for other people, we typically don't recommend $20,000 just for kind of cremations. And the reason is most of the people we work with are on fixed or limited incomes, and overinsuring is not a good idea. So what we would typically recommend if you're going to come home in a cardboard box or an urn after your cremation, probably around $5,000 to $7,500, somewhere in there. And then if you're going to have that service plus the cremation, that's probably going to be $7,500 to $10,000. And just keep in mind, if your budget's tight, get $5,000 for right now. You can always add more coverage later. The most important thing with this insurance is to have it when you need it. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. Now, we can tell you it's not going to be anything fancy for $10,000, that's for sure. But it's hard to imagine a funeral home in the United States would turn away a $10,000 check, because why would they let that check kind of walk down the road to their competitors and have them get that money? But again, it's going to be very simple. It's going to be very meager. So what we would typically recommend is somewhere between $10,000, $15,000, or maybe even $20,000, depending on, your budget and how long you're planning on living. Because at age 61, you're probably hoping to make it to 71, maybe 81, maybe even 91 years old. So just understand that if you get $10,000 right now, you're going to have to add some more coverage later in life. But if you're on a limited income right now, get that $10,000, $15,000, whatever it would be, because if you don't have the insurance, your family's going to have to pay for it, and they're going to be burdened and they're going to be punished because you didn't get this insurance. Now, one thing we always recommend is first day coverage or benefits. That's the only thing we help people with at Funeral Funds of America. And a lot of people would say, well, I want first day coverage, but it asks health questions, and I've got some health issues. And to that, we would say, hey, that's kind of our problem, not your problem. And what I mean by that is we work with enough different insurance companies that they all have different underwriting, and we've got a 90 to 95% first day coverage approval history. But one thing people will say about the first day coverage plans is that, hey, they ask health questions, and I've got some health issues. And yeah, you're right, they do ask health questions with the first day coverage, but that's kind of our problem, not yours. And what I mean by that is that we work with enough different insurance companies that they all have different underwriting requirements. And we've got a 90 to 95% success rate in getting people first day coverage. So let us worry about that and help you with any health or medical issues that you have. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issues going on, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to die in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you're in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different insurance company. And the other thing is, it seems like every week somebody gives us a call and says, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and they didn't have insurance, and we don't have any money, and their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home's not going to do anything until they get a check in their hand. So we need to get this insurance right away so we can get a check in the hand of the funeral home. And we have to be the ones, unfortunately, to tell them there's no insurance company in America that will offer a policy on a dead person, somebody who's already died. So it's really sad that the person who died did not take care of this, that left this burden on their family. They knew they were going to die. They probably had intentions of getting this insurance, but they died first. And now their family is suffering both financially and emotionally. And why would you do that? Why would you do that to people that you love and care about it? So don't be that person. Don't be that person. Get this insurance. It's affordable. Even if you need to get a smaller amount, get that done now. You can always add more coverage later. Now, one thing we never recommend is getting a 2-year waiting period plan. And probably one of the most well-known, just because they advertise on TV so much, is Colonial Penn. I mean, I think their TV commercials are on every seven minutes or so. But their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period, which means if you die in the first 2 years for any health or medical related reason, they're not going to pay a penny in death benefit. So there's other companies out there too, Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha product, AIG, Gerber. There's other companies out there too. The only thing they sell is 2-year waiting period policies. And a lot of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that the only thing they qualify for if they're over age 50 is a 2-year waiting period policy, to which we say, you could not be more wrong, because that's all we help people with is first day coverage. So don't listen to some of the marketing from some of these insurance companies. Don't fall for that stuff. Be a smart consumer. So one thing with Colonial Penn and their $9.95 plan is those TV commercials are so well produced that a lot of 61-year-old females would be thinking, oh, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, maybe even more for $9.95. And then they talk with somebody at Colonial Penn, or they get on the website like we've done here. Female, age 61, $9.95. One unit is only $1,460. Now, that probably sounds a lot different than that TV commercial, doesn't it? And if you think about it, $1,460, oh, man, it'd be interesting to see if that would even pay for a cremation these days. But that doesn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period, and it wouldn't pay out for the first 2 years for any health or medical related cause of death. So in the end, it doesn't matter. That $1,460 is going to be worth less than 2 years due to inflation. So just really be educated about kind of how some of these insurance companies market their products, and you need to know the full story. Now, can a female, a 61-year-old female, even get $20,000? Because Colonial Penn maxes out at 15 units. So that'd be 21. So they just sneaking in there. Let's go down to 14 units. There we go, $20,440. Now, a 61-year-old female can't get $20,000 on the nose because Colonial Penn only does per unit pricing, and you end up with these wackadoodle numbers like 20440. But that's pretty close to $20,000. But that's $140 a month, roughly. $139.30. We'll round that up to $140. Is that a good deal? Let's go look at some first day coverage here. So we've got $20,000 here, female, age 61. And let's get the quote, but let's go back and look here. Again, $20,000 is roughly $140. And over here, we can get that same amount of insurance for $65, $66. You look at the price difference, again, that's $140 versus $65. So roughly $75 more a month to go with Colonial Penn over a first day insurance company. That's over it's right around anyway, $900 more a year that you're overpaying by going with a Colonial Penn. And they will force you to have a 2-year waiting period policy, and you will have the privilege of overpaying on that policy for the rest of your life. In so much that if you live another 10 years, the Colonial Penn policy is going to cost you an extra $9,000, roughly, more than a first day coverage plan, and they will allow you to overpay that premium for the rest of your life. So if you live another 20 years, you're going to overpay roughly $18,000 on a $20,000 policy. So you gotta be able to do your math and be a smart shopper. And if you're not a smart shopper, let us be the smart shopper for you. So yeah, it definitely pays to get first day coverage, and level on these things means first day coverage. Now, one thing I will say is just because they're lowest pricing by pennies doesn't mean they're the best company. Some of these companies, the approval process are really difficult and it can take days or weeks or months, versus some companies like Trinity Life, we can get same-day approvals right over the phone. And typically when people want this insurance, they want to know it's taken care of, and they don't want to wait a week or a month for an answer or something like that. So even though a company might be, 97 cents less, it may not be the better choice. And let's find another company here. And you'll be able to see all these different insurance companies and get pricing on our quoter. But, here's Lincoln Heritage. Yeah, so they're a fine company, I guess, level coverage, but they are more money. So the reason they're more money is they've got a deal where when you pass away, they'll call 2-3 different funeral homes, get you kind of the lowest pricing, I guess, and do a couple other things. But you pay for that service. It's more expensive. So $94 versus roughly 64, 65, 66. So let's say that's $30 a month. I'm just going to round the numbers for easy math. That's $360 more a year, $360 more a year. After 10 years, that'd be $3,600, $3,600 more for Lincoln Heritage to make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple other things. So if you're thinking, well, that seems like a pretty good payday for them for $3,600. Most people would kind of think that. And you got to ask yourself, is it worth overpaying $3,600 in the next 10 years? Think about this. If you live 20 years, that's right around $7,200. Is it worth it for somebody to do that, to make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple other things? So most people would say no. And so what we do at Funeral Funds is we provide a free funeral and estate planning guide. You can fill that out in advance, who gets what goes where, and what you want done when you pass away as far as funeral homes, arrangements, burial, cremation, all that stuff. Just fill that out. You keep it with your insurance policy, and that way when you pass away, everything's all in one place. Your family will know exactly what to do, and you save a lot of money by doing it that way. And we would rather you keep that money in your own pocket and spend it on your family while you're alive versus giving it to an insurance company. And your family will know that you were thinking about them well in advance of what would be a very difficult day losing you. And they will know that you loved and cared for them and prepared for them, both financially and emotionally. And that's a great legacy to leave behind. So you can go to our website, click out, fill out our quote form. You can call us 888-862-9456. We've got a special link for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. That will take you to a special quoter that has the best discounts and rates for you in your state. And if you have an existing policy and you just want to price shop it to see if you got the best rates, or if you want to add coverage to it, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy and you want the best rates, we can help you out with that. If you just have questions or you want information or help, we'd love to help you out with that too. So just keep us in mind. And when you're ready, just reach out to us. We look forward to that day when we actually get to meet you and talk with you. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.